Hello, and welcome to another version of Lost for Words. Yeah, I'm back, and today I'm gonna talk about some subjects that, well, are a little controversial, and they're things that a lot of people are thinking about, and a lot of things that are on people's minds. Um, let's talk about um, our Trump supporters. Uh, Unfortunately, you're all sheep. Really, you're all fucking sheep. Because you don't know any better. You think that the guy's trying to do something good for the country, and he's not. He's only doing something good for himself. For himself and himself only. He doesn't give a shit about any of you. If you believe that he gives a shit about you, then you need to leave the country. Because if you were in another country, he'd worry more about you because you'd be trying to get into this country. And then guess what? He'd separate you from your family, your children. He'd separate your children and put them in cages. And it wouldn't make a difference to him. He could give a fuck about any of you. Seriously. I mean, look at it. I mean, he set up the whole order of separating families at the border. And then what does he do? A week later, he sits there and he says, "Well, I'm gonna stop that because the Dems are, doing whatever." It's not the Dems. It's the GOP. Anybody that's part of the GOP needs to switch parties. Get out of that party as soon as you can. Seriously. I mean, that party is so fucked up and so wrong that it doesn't even resemble what it was founded on. Abraham Lincoln, you know who he is, right? Our 16th president. He was part of the GOP. He was actually probably one of the founding fathers of the GOP. And, his views on racism and separation and all that stuff that we are talking about now are completely different than what are going on in the country today. Back then, he wanted to make African American people free. And he wanted to make sure that people came into this country via immigration and let them across our borders. Today, over 130 years later, what's going on? We are now separating people at the border. We're separating children at the border from their parents. We're creating chaos in the world. And that's not what we want to do. That's just bullshit. My friends that sit there and support this guy are sheep. You're all sheep again. I have to say that. Bah. You are all sheep. Just start doing that when you go outside. Instead of talking, just go bah, bah, and sound like a fucking sheep. Because you're following him blindly without the education, without the knowledge of knowing that what he's doing is wrong. You think it's right because maybe you're racist. Maybe you're, thinking that if he speaks about it, that he has your views. Well, he may have your views, but your views are wrong. Flat out wrong. Seriously. All of my friends that follow Trump and that look at Trump, we don't discuss it. And the reason why is because they know that any argument that they have for Trump can be debunked. And can be debated. And can be debated and defeated. Trump is an asshole. Don, if you watch this, you're a fucking asshole. You're not my president. I don't want to speak to you. I don't want to talk to you. Well, actually, then again, I think I would want to talk to you. I'd want to put you in a fucking room with me for a couple hours so I can explain to you how the world fucking works. Just because you're rich doesn't mean you're fucking right. Rich and money doesn't mean correctness. You're a dick. You're an asshole. You're a son of a bitch. And how would you like it if, we took Baron von Trump and put him into a cage. How would you like that? That wouldn't be too nice, would it, Donnie? Huh. I mean, Melania, she wears that jacket. I really don't care. Do you? You really think that that's about the media and about, her knowing what the media is and she doesn't care anymore? That's bullshit. She doesn't care that fucking children are being separated from their parents, that babies are being put in cages. They're being put in warehouses, surrounded by fences with Mylar blankets. Mylar blankets are made for the outdoors, for people who are in emergency situations that need that protection from the elements. What elements in a warehouse are they being protected? Give them wool blankets. Give them warm blankets. Give them good food. Give them food that they're going to actually like. Don't give them fucking MREs to eat. Don't give them fucking stuff that we wouldn't even give an animal. I mean, the whole process of what's going on our borders is just bullshit. These people are human beings. They're human beings and they deserve respect. Respect. Just like my shirt says, respect. Unfortunately, the Republicans, the GOP, the people that think that they know what's right for this country are wrong. They're wrong. My friends that support Trump are wrong. It really angers me to know that some of my friends actually believe the shit that comes out of that man's mouth. That actually supports the shit that comes out of that man's mouth. I mean, Donald Trump is not even smart enough to pour piss out of a boot if there was instructions written on the bottom. Seriously. That's a quote from one of my favorite books about Gettysburg, written by Michael Shara. Yeah, you should all go read it. Really good read. Anyway, I am really at a loss for words when it comes to how I can put it into perspective for you people that you would understand. Take a guy like me who is nothing in this world. I am the person that Trump wants to try and get on his side. Unfortunately, that'll never happen. And the reason why that'll never happen is because I know better. And all my friends and all the people that support Trump, you know better too. But you don't want to stand up and say he's wrong. I'm going to stand up and say he's wrong because I know he's wrong. I know it, flat out. There is no debate about it. If you want to debate me, go ahead, comment on this post. Tell me what you think. Tell me how you feel. Tell me how you really feel. Seriously. Because I want to know. Because I want to be able to debate you and tell you how wrong you really fucking are. You fucking people that support a man like Donnie Trump you guys are all, like I called you before, sheep. And you don't know any better. Now, let's take another subject here that is on a lot of our minds, and a lot of people look at it, and you can either have pros or cons for it. It's how Canada just passed a law to make marijuana legal. Now, some of us that smoke weed, some of us that don't smoke weed, we all can sit there and have a talk about it. But Canada took a step in the right direction. They legalized marijuana. It's not, the war on drugs failed in America. They failed. It failed. It flat out failed. It's been going on since the 70s, 60s, and unfortunately it's never worked. All it does is criminalize the people that want to do it either for recreational use or for medical use. It criminalizes them, the war on drugs. I mean, there's the opioid crisis, and you know what? Marijuana can help with that. It can make withdrawal easier. It can make it better. It can make you feel better. The people that sit there and want to not legalize marijuana, those people, they are the ones who are either have money or have been at a point in their life that they've never ever understood what depression, PTSD, people that have never been in that position will be against it. However, I'm going to say, I don't know what the percentages are, but there's a lot more people in this country that have been through a lot of shit that could use marijuana for the better and to better themselves and to make things better for all those around them. The people that are against it just don't understand. They've never been in a position to where they've needed something to make their lives either easier or better. And it's not really about, recreation or stuff like that. Think about the monetary value that legalizing marijuana in America could do. Think about that. It could fucking get this country out of debt at a federal level. The trillions of dollars that Donald Trump is going to put us in debt after he's said and done, after the 4 years, once he gets voted out of office, our debt is going to be so astronomical that we're going to need something to get us back to where we were prior to Donald Trump in office. I mean, he set us back 150 years. I mean, and that's sad. That's sad that we have to be set back that long. But it's only going to last for another, 2 years now? Hopefully a year and a half, 2 years, more, 3 years. I don't know. It's bullshit. I mean, it's stupid that we have to go through this and have this debate. I mean, you can all think what you want. I know what I'm saying at heart is correct, and it's what a lot of other people want to say, but I'm going to have the balls to come out here and say it publicly. I mean, it's just... all in all, the whole marijuana and legalizing pot is a good thing for America if we do it. If we do it and we do it correctly and we do it on a federal level, it could end the debt in America. Seriously. I mean, do the numbers. Think about it. I mean, it could literally wipe out the debt. I mean, and especially for something that the GOP conservatives, it was a pipe dream to begin with, and it failed miserably. I mean, it really has. I mean, let's go to another subject, because I could go on for that for hours and hours about legalizing marijuana and how it could benefit the country and benefit the citizens of this country and make us feel better as a whole. Monetarily, psychologically, it really could. I'm going to go back to my Trump supporters, to my friends or supposed friends on Facebook who think that they're right. You need to look at yourself in a mirror. Just because you were in the armed services, and just because some of you were in the armed services, and you think that, the people in the armed services that support Trump, he doesn't care about you. I mean, we can mix that with the whole marijuana thing. I mean, I literally know people that were in the armed services that smoked weed while they were over in Iraq and smoked it while they played their Xbox, while they played their video games, while they didn't do anything, while they just sat there. Yeah, those people smoked marijuana, played video games, and did absolutely nothing. Yeah, you know who you are, you fucking people who watch this. Yeah. Yeah, you know who you are. Some of you may not have done that. And that supposedly gives you the right to say what you want about the armed services and how Trump supports them and wants to do all that bullshit. You know, I know for a fact that there are people that went to Iraq that smoked weed and did nothing. I mean, and that angers me because, hey, you know, those people got paid to do that. They got paid. Yeah, they came back and they wasted their fucking money, but they got paid to do that. I mean, let's... Yeah, I get frustrated when I talk about stuff like that because it angers me, and I could go on and on again, like I said, for hours about subjects like that. And eventually, you know, I'll touch on those subjects again. But if you look at our borders, it's 2,000 miles on the Mexico border, yet only 700 miles of broken segments are in place. They want to spend $40 billion to complete the wall. You know what? Why don't you take that $40 billion and give each American a little chunk of it? Instead of spending it on the wall, why don't you give it to the American people? I mean, that's a waste of money. Mexico has stringent immigration laws. You know, we go into Mexico and we cross the border without a passport or whatever, and guess what? We get put in the Mexican jail, and, you know, we'll never be taken out of that Mexican jail. But you know what? They'll put us in a Mexican jail with our children. They wouldn't separate us. I mean, think about that. We have become a totalitarian state with Trump as our president. Well, I say our president. He's not my president. I don't even fucking take a word that he says seriously. I mean, he's an infantile dumbass. I mean, he acts like he's 3 years old. Yeah, this has been a rant about a couple of different things, and I understand that you all may not like it. You may like it. If you do, click the subscribe and click the like button. Let me know. Give me some comments. Let me tell you how it really is. And if you don't like it, tell me how you think it is. Seriously. I mean, I could always wear a jacket that says I don't really care. Do you? But why? I'm going to come on here and I'm going to tell you. I don't need to have something painted on my shirt that says I don't care. Do you? I'm going to tell you how it is. I'm going to tell you face to face. You're going to look at me right here in the eye, and I'm going to tell you exactly how it is. And if you don't like it, fucking comment and tell me about it. And I'll tell you how wrong you are. In conclusion, thanks and have a nice day. This has been Lost for Words.